I'm Patrick Lancaster, independent journalist, war correspondent, blogger, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it. But I'm here to talk to you about free speech, freedom of press in Georgia. Not the state of Georgia, but the country of Georgia. I just days ago attempted to go into Georgia to see the situation. There is an upcoming local elections with, again, a promised peaceful revolution by the opposition. This is an ongoing theme for almost a year now. Almost exactly a year, since there was allegations of stolen elections and much more, and politicians not leaving the post when they should. But, you know, you can see my reports that I did when I was in Georgia during this unrest last December, where I did my best to show both sides of the situation, which isn't really that possible in a lot of cases, but this time I was able to. I showed some of the opinions of the protesters, why they wanted to join Europe, and I showed the positions of other people away from the protests that had quite a different opinion of the situation. And you can see those videos here. I'll put some down in the description. But a pretty big divide. The people that were for changing the government and going to Europe said that they were the majority. The people, particularly when I saw a lot of elderly that were against the opposition, against the protests, said that they were the majority. So I did my best to show the real situation on the ground, as I always do wherever I am. But I just tried to join, go into and enter into Georgia. And guess what? I was officially denied entry. Now, there is no question that I was denied entry into Georgia because of my work as a journalist. There's no question that my work as an independent journalist triggered my denial of entry into Georgia. Now, was this pushed by the active government or maybe the opposition in the government? Whatever. The fact is, in a few days, there's going to be, again, local elections and another, as I said, promised peaceful revolution. And you can... Let's look here at the official denial paper that I was given. You see that it says that they decided to refuse entry to Georgia. That's what's marked there. And they did this after having me wait for 4.5 hours at the border when it was basically an empty border. Me and my wife were going in, and we waited 4.5 hours, and the whole time being told, oh, we don't know, but it'll be soon, we'll be soon, you know, just hold on. And then finally, the head of the police at the border came out, turned on a camera or microphone, I couldn't understand exactly which it was, but read me first in Russian, and then after, to make it clearer, had someone come and explain it in English. And I said, why am I being refused? I said, well, we can't tell you. I said, well, you know and I know it's because of my journalism. And they said, oh, we can't confirm that. Now, again, we looked farther at the paper, and here on the screen you can see how other cases envisioned by Georgian legislation. And I was like, so that means something against the law or something? And he said off camera, yes. So what does that actually mean? Why was I denied? Something that has to do with the law or legislation. Now, does this have to do with me showing years ago, I mean like 8 years ago, the opinions of people of some of the breakaway countries or breakaway regions of Georgia, like Abkhazia and South Ossetia, which quite differ from the opinions of Georgians, but I show both sides. I do what I can to show both sides of the situation. In the last 5 years, I've been in Georgia, both for tourism and work, at least 15, 20 times. Never had a problem until the protests last December, when I was surrounded by protesters because of my work as a journalist and threatened. But I left, no problem. And I actually, after the protest, went back again, no problem. But now, a few days before the local elections, where there's another promised revolution, here we go. Patrick Lancaster, independent journalist, is denied entry. So, what does this mean? Envisioned by Georgian legislation in something that has to do with the laws. Well, we'll show you exactly the definition. Envisage, contemplate or conceive of a possibility or desirable future event. So this means some sort of possible future situation of me breaking the law, or in the past, a little unclear exactly what they meant. They, I think, purposely don't use simple language, you could say, or translation. And of course, they wouldn't explain nothing. And it should be clear, I had no questions, no interrogation, no investigation directly to me. No questions made. I wasn't asked, why are you going to Russia? Or why are you going to Georgia? Nothing like this. And to be clear, I was coming from Russia into Georgia, which I've done dozens of times in the last years. No questions at all. Just a denial after 4.5 hours of me and my wife waiting. So, no question, freedom of press is being withheld in Georgia. Freedom of speech, freedom of press. Now, who is this doing this? Again, is it the active government or the opposition? I'm putting this video out. Maybe someone can figure out what you're doing over there in Georgia. Who is holding down freedom of speech, freedom of press? If I'm contacted by the government and said, oh, okay, we'll let you in. You can come and cover the elections. So there is freedom of press, freedom of speech in these local elections. I'll come. But this needs to be addressed. This is freedom of speech and freedom of press being restricted in Georgia. There's no question about this. Now, you comment below in the comments what you think about this. Now, I really like the country of Georgia. Beautiful country. Nice people. Never had an issue, well, for the most part, with the people or the country. And, you know, I hope to go back one day, but we'll have to see. But hopefully this situation is addressed by someone in Georgia, maybe out of Georgia. But the world should know about this situation. And, of course, I'm not going to let it hold back my journalism. I continue on as always. And I bring you the facts on the ground that I see. So I want you to again, comment below. Let me know what you think about this situation. Maybe you want to contact the Georgia government, see what they have to say about it. But, you know, it is what it is. I move on, move forward. Please like, share, subscribe, share this with anyone you think might get something out of this video. And remember, we got a lot more reports to come. Maybe in Georgia, maybe around Georgia. We'll have to see. Back on the front line. We'll have to see what the future holds. I always bring you the facts on the ground. And hopefully peace does stay in Georgia, but also hopefully freedom of press exists in Georgia. And I hope this situation gets addressed. Of course, you can always, whoever needs to, find my contacts in the description below. And again, if this gets worked out before the local elections, I'll come and cover them. If there's freedom of speech and freedom of press still in Georgia. Please like, share, subscribe. And remember, I'm an independent crowdfunded journalist. You support my work with the link on the screen or in the description. Let's go get some information.